NTA International News.
In the hallowed chambers, National Assembly shut down. Jonathan at 57 celebrates with family. And ahead of 2015, Jonathan's candidature attracts more support. It's my pleasure to welcome you to NTA International News. I'm Nancy Godiangonihu. Nigeria's Senate President David Mark has condemned the use of tear gas on members of the National Assembly by security operatives, describing it as unfortunate and barbaric. Senator David Mark therefore ordered the immediate suspension of plenary and the closure of the National Assembly till Tuesday, the 25th of November 2014. National Assembly correspondent Aisha Tuzango Abdullahi reports.
Following the invasion of the National Assembly by security operatives, Senator Mark rushed out to the House to address the situation.
Because of the very unfortunate incident that has happened in the National Assembly this morning, I have decided that I will shut down the National Assembly until Tuesday next week. Both the House of Representatives and the Senate. It's unfortunate. We will invite the IG here on Tuesday also.
The Senate plenary proceedings for Thursday, the 20th of November 2014 lasted 3 minutes. The Senate President has shut down the National Assembly until Tuesday next week. In Abuja, Aisha Zango Abdullahi, NTA News.
And to a cheery story now, President Goodluck Jonathan Thursday clocked 57. The president marks the anniversary with his family, a few friends and aides who joined him at a communion service at the Aso Rock Villa residence. State House correspondent Shegu Lawole reports.
He has done for us, my very soul shall shout, hallelujah.
It was an early morning communion service attended by friends, family members, and some aides to mark the low-key birthday anniversary of President Jonathan, who used the service to rededicate himself to the service of God and his country Nigeria as the country passes through at trying times.
I really thank all of you who have made it possible for us to collectively thank God for today. I use this opportunity to reassure Nigerians that though we are facing challenges, we'll surely go through. God will see this country through. And no one individual or group of individuals can hold this country to ransoms. Let's just be together, work hard, and pray to God. Surely this country will be saved.
The service conducted by the chaplain Aso Villa Chapel, Venerable Obioma Owuzuruba, offered another opportunity for the people to table before the God Nigeria's situation. Venerable Owuzuruba, in his exhortation, said God has not forsaken Nigeria and will not, even as threats by the opposition rages on.
But one thing that I know, and I'm sure you agree with me, is that when God's hand is upon a man, when God has selected a man, it doesn't matter from what stock he has come from, God will protect himself. Amen. God will reveal himself. Amen.
Prayers were offered for the president and his entire household that as he clocked 57, the counsel of the ungodly will not prevail on him, and for God's purpose for his leadership be fulfilled.
God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigeria.
Joined by the First Lady, Dame Patience, his mother, Mama Eunice, and family members, the president cut the birthday cake.
Who is he? Jesus!
In the State House, Shegu Lawole, NTA News.
As President Goodluck Jonathan marks 57th birthday anniversary, the Nigerian Governors Forum, led by Plateau State Governor David Jonah Jang, has congratulated him, praying to God to continue to make him an achiever. The governors were reflecting on his birthday when they spoke with political correspondent Femi Johnson.
The president is going to live long, long, long because he's the people's president.
I wish him best of luck in 2015. I wish him best of luck in the remaining part of his life. He will live long, he will rule well, and Nigerians will enjoy Mr. President.
I wish him long life, and then I wish him many, many returns. Thank you.
I pray that the birthday celebration will lead to a victory in 2015.
The governors there praying for President Goodluck Jonathan at his on his 57th birthday celebration. Now, turning to political scene, the Progressive Action Congress has resolved to join forces with the People's Democratic Party to ensure that President Goodluck Jonathan emerges winner in the 2015 presidential election. The party says its decision is informed by the fact that PDP is a party that has sustained the bond of unity and balance in Nigeria. Correspondent Joseph Orok's report is based on the party's media briefing in Abuja.
The Progressive Action Congress says the adoption of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan is based on his laudable and enduring achievements, while urging politicians to desist from using foul language against the president, as that amounts to smearing the image of the country. The party says Nigeria needs more of the president's transformation programs beyond 2015.
The achievement of Mr. President has rekindled our hope in giving him full support for the 2015 election. And we don't feel it is necessary to create room for another presidential candidate to run along with him. He has performed beyond expectation.
The Progressive Action Congress says the wisdom of PDP to stand by the people of the South-South in producing President Jonathan is a mark of unity which Nigerians should support. Joseph Orok, NTA News.
On the other hand, the National Working Committee of All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, has approved the clearance of all successful aspirants by its National Assembly Screening Committee. The national chairman of the party, Chief Victor Ume, says the party's special national convention will now hold on the 17th of December this year. Political correspondent Femi Johnson reports.
The All Progressive Grand Alliance National Working Committee approved the outcome of the screening exercise for the National Assembly aspirants in Anambra State, but reversed the purported clearance of an aspirant, Prince Nicholas Ukachukwu, by the appeal panel on the ground that it did not sit as a full panel.
Given the aspirant's political history and voyage, the National Working Committee noted that the aspirant may defect to another political party if elected Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the platform of APGA.
The national chairman of APGA, Chief Victor Ume, also noted that the National Working Committee also suspended the Abia State chairman of the party, Prince Unana Ukaigbu, for anti-party activities and directed the vice chairman to oversee the committee. 17th of December this year has been fixed for the Special National Convention for APGA to adopt amended party constitution, ratify the appointment of Governor Willie Obiano
as the leader and chairman of the Board of Trustees of the party. On that special convention, the party will also adopt a presidential candidate for the party, in brackets, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan.
APGA National Working Committee also says the resolution are in line with the party's electoral guidelines for the primary elections. In Abuja, Femi Johnson, NTA News.
And towards nurturing the Nigerian child, the need for government and other stakeholders to consistently invest in the children's education to ensure responsible growth and development has again come into focus. This was the thrust of an event put together by the Federal Ministry of Women and Social Development to commemorate this year's Universal Day of the Child, held in Abuja. Fatima Aliyu reports.
Education is power, source of electricity. Don't limit the power of education, because education will give you the high rate of investment in future. Education is a soul. Education is a spirit. A child without education is like a dead lion in the midst of 1,000 of living rats.
Children, there, corroborating the theme for this year's celebration, children's education as an imperative for sustainable development. Every 20th of November since 1959 has been celebrated to, among other things, address developmental challenges faced by children in the society. Nigeria became a signatory in 1989.
I wish to seize this opportunity once again to appeal to the insurgents to allow peace to reign in this country and in our schools, because there can be no development without peace, as peace is a prerequisite and a key component of sustainable future.
Most of the states that we have visited, so far so good. Those that have considered the CRA, they have not implemented it, they are in the process of doing it, and the legislatures in the states that are yet to implement the CRA are moving forward with their judiciary to make sure that things are being put correctly so that it will come into reality.
They also used the forum to seek supportive roles from various UN agencies and other stakeholders to come up with policies and programs that will contribute to the well-being of Nigerian children, particularly in the face of security challenges. The event featured a paper presentation titled Education, the Indispensable Tool for Sustainable Development by an educationist, Clarice Ujam. Fatima Ali, NTA News.
In the same vein, the need for the growing girl to be educated and rightly informed on the basic knowledge that will make her a proper woman necessitated the sensitization workshop on teenage pregnancy by the Women of Like Minds initiative in Abuja. Correspondent Basi Taitman was there.
The sensitization workshop brought together girls from secondary schools within and outside the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
So we decided to organize this sensitization program, one-day sensitization program on teenage pregnancy, so that the young girls can know the disadvantages of teenage pregnancy.
It featured lectures on the effects and consequences of teenage pregnancy. Speakers stressed the need for girls to be able to keep their virginity till marriage, noting that the effects of unwanted pregnancy can better be imagined.
There are a lot of things that a teenage girl goes through when she gets pregnant, from the psychological, mental torture, the physical torture, and because of her lack of preparation for motherhood, she gets distorted, she's confused, her life is coming, she just sees her dreams crumbling, but prevention is always better than cure.
Experiences and illustrations given as teenagers, we shouldn't be led into all these things, because it's always a defect, or it could lay a bad impact on us, either in this lifetime or in the future.
Some of the factors responsible for teenage pregnancy, they noted, are peer group pressure, materialism, internet pornographic films, and lack of attention from parents.
And now, community participation in schools governance. Where did Nigeria get it wrong? This was the question posed by the Chairman, House Committee on Education, Aminu Suleiman, to participants at the National Conference on School Governance in Abuja. Frank Auzomolwa has the details.
The 2012 Nigeria Demographic Health Survey confirmed that many girls and women are still excluded from going to school, with only 57% of girls in northern Nigeria able to attend schools and less than 25% of them capable of transiting to secondary schools.
With the recent displacement of close to 1 to 1.5 million people in northeastern Nigeria, we find that many hundreds of thousands of children are now prevented from going to school this year.
Based on this, key players in the basic education subsector met in Abuja to seek ways of entrenching qualitative and inclusive school-based management process that will improve partnership for successful implementation of UBE goals.
Who owns governance in the school? Is it only the school authorities? Does the parent have no role? Does the community have no role?
How can the world finish off the job that the MDGs began? And that's a question I think we all have a responsibility to address.
The conference is expected to strengthen the school-based management committee for smooth implementation of UBE programs at the grassroots.
The Commission, using its own internal mechanism, sets up the following targets: improving enrollment and retention of girl child in basic education.
The two-day conference focused on ways of making communities work for better schools. In Abuja, Franca Uzoma Olwa, NTA News.
You are on to news reaching you from NTA International, Abuja, Nigeria. For the second part of the bulletin, stakeholders in the labor sector urged to maximize social dialogue as an instrument for the resolution of industrial conflicts. Please stay with us.
About 50 years ago, a child was born in the Ajah district of Ibadan land, named Oluwaseyi Abiodun Makinde. This child is divinely endowed with philanthropy and kindness to the extent that he cannot bear to see people suffer around him. He has therefore taken it upon himself to touch lives and make impact with various philanthropic gestures, scholarship to indigent students, empowerment, widowhood supports, and countless others.
He has been doing a lot of things despite that he's not in government. He's trying. He has done so many things for the people, bursary award for the students, taking care of the widows.
Support PDP. PDP power. Omititun Igba Ọ̀tun.
Weekend Deal, 6:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday. Africa's biggest deal.
Weekend Deal.
The FRCN, NTA and VON annual service of 9 lessons and Christmas carols is here again.
The program, which started over 10 years ago in Abuja as a local carol night, has grown into a national affair.
It's an exhibition of classical and Nigerian Christmas songs and carols,
featuring spirit-lifting renditions and inspiring messages in celebration of the living Christ.
Celebrated groups like the Lars Ekweme Choral Group will be there.
Theme, celebrating the Prince of Peace.
Venue, National Christian Center, Abuja.
Date, Sunday, 14th December 2014.
Time, 3 p.m.
Message giver, Senior Pastor, Dunamis International Gospel Center, Dr. Paul Enenche.
For sponsorship details, call 0803-303-7678
0803-704-3300
or 0802-722-2869.
Coming live on Radio Nigeria, NTA and Voice of Nigeria, Sunday, December 14, 2014.
The FRCN, NTA and VON annual service of 9 lessons and Christmas carols.
Making Christmas memorable for you.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers is set to update valuation practice tools to ensure efficiency, effectiveness, and domesticated global best practices. This was the focus of the first 2014 national seminar of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers held in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Fatima Liu reports.
The seminar revisited conventional bases and methods of valuation and the emerging way of tackling valuation briefs, paying attention to changing technology and socio-economic environments globally. Participants recommended consistent process of upgrading knowledge in areas such as percentage allocation and lifespan of specific building components. They also called for deployment of the highest professional standard in carrying out evaluations, as this will improve the skills of practitioners and contribute to the growth of Nigeria's economy.
In the last 3 or 4 years, we never had it this beautiful. We have close to 1,000 plus, or even upward of 1,000 that are in attendance.
Everything I have seen today makes me happy and proud as one of those who many years ago helped to develop the institution to what it is today.
Today, the world is a changing world, and you have to upgrade the intellect of our members in order to be more useful in the ever-changing world.
The seminar featured paper presentation on updating valuation practice tools, financial reporting and componentization of assets, statutory opportunities for valuation services, among others. Fatima Ali, NTA News.
In another development, stakeholders in the labor sector have been urged to maximize the use of social dialogue as a viable instrument of trade union administration. Supervising Minister of Labour and Productivity, Taminus Turaki, made this call at the second annual Registrar of Trade Unions workshop in Abuja. Obegelu Ugoke completes the story.
Records from the Ministry of Labour and Productivity have shown that trade unions have continually experienced crises ranging from inter- and intra-union trade disputes, characterized by factionalization, stagnation of wages, and jurisdictional scope issues, sensitizing trade unions to move away from crises and adopt other methods of conflict resolution, engage the discussants at the forum.
And that is to make sure that employers of labor do not take unnecessary advantage of laborers or providers of labor. At the same time, we will maintain the balance to also ensure that providers of labor do not also take undue advantage of their employers.
The achievement of the cardinal goals of decent work and harmonious industrial relations atmosphere cannot be realized without the promotion of worker-employer education.
This will spur key capital development required to usher Nigeria into a fully industrialized country.
The supervising minister assured participants that his administration would contribute immensely to addressing the problems of injustice in the workplace and gave assurance of improved welfare and working conditions as mandated by the president.
This forum is organized based on the need to restructure the labor sector for productivity enhancement and economic transformation in Nigeria. In Abuja, Obiagelu Goke, NTA News.
The federal government has granted approval to the Audiovisual Rights Society of Nigeria to grant licenses and regulate the broadcast of audiovisual materials produced in the country. This is to guard against piracy, abuses, and economic sabotage. Musa Baba Ali reports.
Over the years, piracy has remained a major obstacle affecting the growth of film production in Nigeria, in spite of its contribution to the socio-economic development of the country. In order to address this, therefore, the Audiovisual Society of Nigeria has been licensed to protect the rights of owners of the materials and ensure payment of royalties of audiovisual broadcasts in and outside the country.
Which means AVRS now has the powers, in accordance with this license, to license users of Nollywood films and broadcasts. So those users will now be required to pay AVRS royalties which AVRS will in turn pass on to the actors, the producers, and all other people. So the days where content is used without being paid for is gone.
It is expected that the acquisition of rights to creative content would be based on negotiation and reasonable terms agreement between the users and the collective management organization.
Continue to appeal, we'll continue to dialogue with users, I call them, of our works, to please cooperate. We'll listen to them to see their own side, and they should listen to us too.
Since 2011, Copyright Commission has carried out about 180 anti-piracy operations with arrest of over 400 suspects and seizure of about 5.9 million units of pirated works valued at over 6.3 billion naira. The Attorney General of the Federation has advised the Audiovisual Society of Nigeria to ensure justice and equity in their duties. In Abuja, Musa Rabba Aliyu, NTA News.
It is with that report on the Audiovisual Rights Society of Nigeria that we conclude this news. We're glad you watched. Thank you.